everyone. So today we are in talks with one of our mind expert. Her name is Sayli and she has done her MA in clinical psychology and she is also a remedial educator. Welcome Sayli to Ananda. Tell me about your educational background, your favorite areas of counseling and a little bit more about your professional life.
Okay, I have completed my Masters in Clinical Psychology and I've been working in a school as a school counselor for a year, and I've also worked with a psychiatrist in Fortis Hospital, but I love working with children. So I've done a course and right now I'm working as a remedial educator.
So tell us more about remedial education. I mean, how the process is and who is targeted in this process.
For that, we need to understand specific learning disability first. So specific learning disability is a condition where there is a deficit in processing language. That is, it could be spoken or written. To spell, to do maths calculation, simple maths, or even to write or read. It's a perceptual condition. That is dyslexia, which is a reading problem, and dysgraphia, that is writing disability, dyscalculia, that is problems in maths, and dyspraxia, that is a deficit in motor skills. So any of this to identify, we need to do early investigation assessment first. And the main purpose of remedial education is to provide support, learning support and guidance to a child so that child doesn't lose confidence in learning. So that is the main purpose.
Okay, since we are talking about children and learning disability, the 6 to 12 years of age group is something parents find difficult to cope with. Do you want to tell us how to deal with children between 6 to 12 years?
Okay, so children at this age, they are growing some exciting abilities and they're also facing a lot of physiological changes. So their motor skills are better, so they pick up a sport or some physical activity which requires some complex sensory motor skills. Their writing, reading, coloring skills are far better than previous. So we need to encourage that. We need to give motivation to that. Self-discipline. They also understand abstract concepts like loyalty, principles, values, etc. So model behavior helps a lot. That if you want to inculcate reading habit in your children and you are sitting with a lot of screens, smartphones and laptop, that is not going to work, because children, they don't listen, they follow and they observe you, they copy your behavior. So if you pick up a book, newspaper or a magazine, there's a high probability that your child is going to do the same. He or she might interest in reading. So to inculcate any good habit in your child, you need to change and alter your life first.
So since we are talking about parents, do you also want to tell us more about the anxiety parents face? So parental anxiety is something every parent goes through and is very common but often ignored. So can you help us know more about parental anxiety?
Sure. Anxiety is a natural response to stress. So sweaty palms or rapid heartbeats is what, these are the common symptoms we faced during anxiety. So parental anxiety is very real and difficult. Parents of any age, they face this intense worrying or too much excessive worry about their children. So this is what we call as parental anxiety. For this, there is thing called face your fears, But that does not mean you literally throw away your child on a highway full of traffic and get over your fear that it will be hit by a car. So instead, you can teach your child to ride a bicycle on a much safer path where there is a bicycle lane under your supervision and guidance, unless and until the child is able to ride solo. So, and again, deep breathing and meditation helps a lot. So whenever you are feeling anxious about your child, take a count till 10, hold on, take a deep breath, then say something positive about your child, then take a decision. And I would definitely suggest that cognitive behavior therapy, meditation, deep breathing, these are some strategies to cope with anxiety.
Okay, since we are talking about parents, mothers do experience a lot of emotional changes since the time they conceive. So the prenatal and postpartum part is very difficult for a mother, and many women do experience a lot of emotional disturbances, sometimes more anxiety or depression. So can you tell us more about postpartum blues or postpartum depression? What is the difference between these two and how it affects women?
Yes, postpartum depression is a type of depression And baby blues is also a part of postpartum depression. It's a phase which lasts only for 2 to 3 months, whereas postpartum depression is much more severe than that. So symptoms are inadequate energy, feeling left out, lack of hunger, lack of sleep. Sometimes a mother, she doesn't experience that love, that connection with the baby. And there are chances that a mother might miss her previous life without responsibility. So she goes through a lot of emotional and hormonal changes, and it ultimately either puts her in postpartum depressional phase or baby blues. For this, certain lifestyle changes might help, like small things like exercise, light yoga, or taking a walk with your baby. This might help. Healthy diet and setting realistic expectations. Stop expecting to be a superwoman, and this our society should understand that a woman is not a superwoman, and when she's a new mother, they should provide help. Seek help whenever there is a chance that you might you are feeling overburdened. Please ask for help. Then the third thing I would like to say is to celebrate your small achievements. That even if today you are able to manage that, you have cleaned your cupboard, it's a very small thing, but please reward yourself for that. So these are the small things, and of course meditation and talking to therapist, that helps. These are the small things that we can consider and give support to a new mother.
So postpartum phase is typically very difficult for a woman because she fails to reward herself. She usually isolates herself.
Yes.
But all this is happening with her baby. So is there any effect on the baby of mother's postpartum depression?
Absolutely. If you want a happy baby, a mother should be happy. And if you want to be happy, stop isolating yourself. Give yourself some me time. There's a difference between isolation and me time. So even if you want to, small things like having a cup of coffee, sitting just for 15 minutes in your balcony, talking to your friends, listening to your favorite music, these are the certain things that you should be keep doing at least for 20 to 25 minutes daily, so that your thoughts are centered and ultimately it sends those vibes to the baby. And happy mother is equal to happy baby. Please remember that.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Sayli, for coming to the Ananda and giving us your opinions and guiding us through parental stages and remedial education and postpartum depression, which are very severe and important topics but are often ignored in our society. Thank you so much again for being a part of Ananda.
Thank you for having me, Varsha.